Welcome to Buzzing About Romance Happy Hour Edition. I am Becky, and I am super excited to be joined by my co-host, Heather. Hey, Heather. Oh, and Heather froze a little bit there.
Hello.
Oh, there you are. You're okay. Yeah. And we are super excited. Our guest this evening is author Alta Hensley. I said it right, right? Like I
Yeah,
got it right?
yeah.
I'm a mess with names. um, you are one half of this writing duo. In our last episode, where we teased book one, we got to chat with Renee, who's your co-writer for this book.
Mhm.
And so tonight we have you. So welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I'm happy to be here, finally.
We are super excited to have you. For everybody that is watching and hanging out, you will find all the details about how to find Renee and Alta in the description of this video, and you can ask all the questions in the chat, and we'll do our best to answer them. Tonight, we are celebrating the completion of the Chicago Sin Duet. Um, this series was, first of all, these covers are beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
I love
Sybil with Pop Kitty did them.
I love that pop of blue. It just catches your eye. I really like them.
Yeah, it was fun. They're
Uh,
fun.
and it's a different way to do object. I was so grateful not to see flowers.
Well, it was funny that we actually said that to our designer. We're like, so not just flowers.
Yeah, I'm over flowers. I like the snake.
Well, the colors are really pretty. Like they complement each other super well. It stands out. It's not like a lot of the covers we see.
Yeah, yeah, we felt that same way too. So thank you. We're
Mhm.
happy that people are liking it so far.
If you follow, like, and subscribe at the end of the night, one lucky person, I have some swag I'm happy to give away for this evening. Um, and also, if you subscribe to our newsletter, um, Sunday is our third anniversary of podcasting, and we have this giant box of swag. There's some signed paperbacks in it. So if you get our newsletter, make sure that you open our newsletter between now and June 29th for your chance to win the ridiculous amount of swag. My poor husband, he's like, why don't you just give away some of the swag you have that you just have sitting here? And I'm like,
Because I like it
I
and I
really
don't want to give it
like
away.
all my swag. But then I went looking, and like in 5 minutes I had. I love book swag. Like if I was an author, I would have so much book swag. You wouldn't even know what to
Yes,
do with me.
yes, it can get dangerous, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that because we are prepping. We're going to our first signing as the podcast in November. And I get on that website and I'm like, ooh, I'm going to buy this and I'm buying
hmm
this.
hmm
My poor.
Yeah. Well, and I just moved, so I have a big office, and now I get to fill it with all of the stuff. Like I
Oh,
have an entire closet just for myself now, and lots of extra room. So that's going to be fun.
Very fun.
exciting. So traditionally we will ask everybody what they're drinking this evening. So Alta, what are you drinking this evening?
I'm just drinking water right now, but I'm still West Coast, so it's a little early. But when I'm done here, I'm going to actually go out to a brewery with my husband to celebrate our move.
Yay,
Nice.
fun. Heather, what are you drinking? You always have something
Some
yummy.
wine, Topo Chico just with some lime.
I love that
That's
Ooh.
it.
stuff.
Me
Uh,
too.
okay, so I fell down the hole of water TikTok, water talk,
Water talk.
and all the flavorings and the stuff. Have you seen this, Alta? Do you know what we're talking about?
No, I
Like,
Oh,
don't.
well,
people
it's
are
flavor packet water.
crazy. Like all the flavor packets and the skinny
Okay.
syrups and stuff. And they have all these different recipes to make these different tasting waters. I don't know
Okay.
that you can even call them waters anymore. But my girl child and I have started doing it, but she uses the Topo Chico instead of regular water.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I'm like, okay, child. Okay. Okay,
Oh,
what
Susie is already coming in at the question.
she's always
Yes. So why the Chicago? Do you love Chicago as much as Renee loves Chicago? Is that why you went
Yeah,
with Chicago?
I do love Chicago. Although I didn't pick Chicago, Renee did. because it's sort of a spinoff of her other Mafia series. And so she kind of did a branch out, and she asked me if I wanted to be part of that and write with her. And so that was decided for me, but I actually am a fan of Chicago as well. So.
And you like the dark romance, right?
Oh yeah. Dark romance is what is my jam. I always say I love to give a villain his happily ever after. Nothing's better than that. I don't do well with sweet romance. I don't even read it. I just, I love the villain. I love the bad boy. I love the redemption, and I love the
You
journey.
like the dark and the broody too, though, because
Oh,
I read your God Among Men series. I've read the first 2 that are out, and book 3 comes out in July.
yeah.
And I started reading that, and I'm like, oh, the broody is thick with this guy. Like, book 1,
Yeah.
I'm like, dude. And it wasn't just even like grumpy. Like, this was, he's a pessimistic little rain cloud. But I loved him.
I do. And I tend to love heroes that are just not your typical hero, that not, what you would normally find. They have interesting flaws, or they're broody, or they have a little psychotic nature in them, or a little unhinged. And so that's why Mafia is one of my favorites, just because there's no rules. You can go as dark and broody and psychotic or messed up or baggage or whatever you want, because it's Mafia.
Yeah. It I found you did one of the trilogies in the Midnight Dynasty world that
I
is
did.
Sky Warren, and yours was Alice in Wonderland. And
yes. Yeah, Nick.
Yeah.
That was the hero was Nick. And that was fun. That was really fun. In fact, when Sky asked me to write for the series, I said what I normally do to a lot of people who ask me to collaborate. I say, okay, well, how dark can I go? Like, basically kind of what are my rules, or how far? And Sky said, write it like you normally do. She goes, there's no rules. And I went, oh, that's dangerous.
Have you met Sky Warren? Her books, there are no rules.
Well, that's the thing, is I was like, well, what? But I thought maybe she wanted me to tone it down, and she went, no.
I read my first Sky Warren book. I want to say that my first anti-hero book, I always say, was Katie Robert, her O'Malley Family. Like, that was my first toe dip into Mafia. And then I read the Sky Warren, the Pawn, and that series. And like, she's like being stripped in the middle of a room full of men, and like, and it's bonkers. And I'm like, what is this? And I like this. What is wrong with me?
And I think once you've got a taste of dark romance, man, it's addicting.
It is.
Oh yeah.
I'm in my dark era. Like, Heather and I, back in December, we decided we were going to do like a Mafia rec episode for the podcast. And I was like, I'm only reading Mafia for right now until I have a really good solid grasp of what is out there. And Heather's like, oh yeah, okay, I'll do it too. Now we can't get out.
Yeah.
And it isn't for everyone. I feel like if you're like, oh, what triggers are in there? It's like, I don't actually think this is I don't think this is for you.
Yeah. Well, it is funny because I do get asked sometimes about, like, what my trigger warnings and all of that. And I have to be honest, I sometimes say the name Alta Hensley equals trigger warnings. I mean, I have to be honest, they're in all of my books. So it's easier to say, just, they're there.
Yeah. I always tell everybody, like, maybe not the book for you. If we're asking, we might need
You need a Mafia light, and I don't think this series is, I wouldn't consider this Mafia light.
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
I don't think Alta writes anything that would qualify as Mafia.
I don't. And in fact, I'm new here, just moving and meeting neighbors, and everyone's like, oh, what do you do? And I say, I write romance novels. And it's so funny because they're like, oh, my mom loves Harlequin. And oh my gosh, I love Hallmark. And I'm hearing that. And I just kind of go, yeah, I'm not the one for you.
Nope. I'm Cinemax After Dark level.
Yeah. We're not simpatico. We're not the same. we're not the same.
Yeah.
I'm like the first 24 hours kind of version of romance, right? Like we're not
Yeah,
Hallmark.
yeah. And then it's great because they're like, oh, can I have one of your books? I'd love to. And then I'm thinking, do I want my neighbors to read this or not?
To know just how different I write.
Yeah, and in fact, Renee's sending me more print books of Dennis of the two books of the duet, and it is interesting because I know everyone's going to want copies and everything, and it's like, well, do you read Mafia? And trying to describe that, and yeah.
It was really interesting because Heather and I, when we were doing our episode, we found that Mafia thrives in Kindle Unlimited. Like, there are so many authors and so much selection and so many great stories and authors. But then we were like, we wanted to make sure that we were, covering all our bases. And there's not out in the wide world. And it was just another reason why I like reading Kindle Unlimited, because
you
it's
have
limiting.
a series though. You have a series in Kobo, I noticed.
I do.
So I try to do my research.
I've done both. So I've been wide with all of the retailers. I think currently I have my Secret Bride series is on Kobo and Barnes and Noble and all of that. And that's a dark romance. It's really dark. I think anything called Captive Bride sort of tells you what it's going to be about.
Yeah, for sure. That actually brings me Susie, she is a good binge reader. She wants to know where to start. So I want to know if you are going to tell us where to start, where someone said.
Well, what I always tell people when people ask me that is I always do my most recent stuff. It's just easier to say, so obviously I have the duet with Renee that's just out, and that's Mafia, and it's done. So it's a duet. So once you start book 1, book 2, it's complete. And then I have been writing my Gods Among Men series, which is Villains Are Made. It's been a long day. Villains Are Made, Monsters Are Hidden, and then Vipers Are Forbidden comes out July 5th. So it's easier because I have like over 30 books or 35, maybe 40. I lost count. So
Susie, you would like the God Among Men series. Like, Susie likes them dark. She doesn't mind a little bit of, I don't want to say they're bully, but they're like, they're darker. They're darker. Yeah. There's a little bit more emotion and broodiness and all the things that make me happy, Susie. So really start the God Among Men series.
It's my favorite. And then the nice part about Gods Among Men is it's actually kind of my basis for the next year or two. I'm going to have a lot of spinoffs where those characters start kind of interacting, and I will tell it here. I haven't announced anywhere, but I have a book coming out called Heathens. And when I write it, I've not started writing it yet. And it's going to be a spinoff of the Gods Among Men. So if you want to kind of stick with me, then that is a good series to be, because all of those characters are going to, as you know, Gods Among Men takes place on an island called Heathens Hollow.
Yeah. So I'm kind of, and now you're like, Heathens. Who is spinning away? I'm telling you, I read that first book, and I'm like, and I actually picked it up because it's kind of a God's retelling a little bit. Like, and I was doing some research because we got an episode we want to do this fall on retellings, and that's why I picked it up. And I picked it up, and I think it was within the first week that first one came out. And then I was a little ragey because it ends for that couple in book 1. And then we go to book 2. Right. And I was like, but I needed it like now.
I know.
I didn't have a lot of patience. And I'm just like, when is it? When is it coming?
Yes. But the good news is that Vipers Are Forbidden ends in July 5th, and then it's done. So I'll be doing spinoffs. So you can get that book and be done with the series, or at least that part of it.
Gloria just downloaded book 1 of The God Among Men, and Susie's like, grabbed it. I told you guys, we can talk about this, all you guys in Discord, because I am obsessed with this series.
I will say though, this is a really good, this duet, it's out because I wanted to shake my Kindle.
Yeah. Renee and I got a little hate mail,
Oh, there's Renee. She got Hi, Renee.
Renee.
Hey, you guys. Sorry, I just made it. My plane was a little late.
That's okay.
No problem.
Welcome. We
Thank
were just
you.
giving all the love to how much we wanted to kill and throw our Kindles for this
After the first book.
after the
It was
first
so
book.
good though. But we really needed book 2 like that.
Yay.
Yeah. Renee, I was telling them you got hate mail.
I did get a little, yeah, especially because it was my first, that I've ever done like a duet so people, someone was like, never again,
Yeah.
I broke their trust, I guess.
cliffhangers.
Yeah.
But
You were forthcoming with that though. That wasn't like a surprise. So
Oh, yeah.
we knew that. People
Yeah.
could choose to wait that 30.
I don't even, was it like 6 weeks maybe that we waited?
Yeah.
It wasn't too
that
long, yeah.
Yeah, not too long.
I will say, so I thought book 1 was pretty spicy because I'm like, we're captive and it's spicy. Holy shit, did you like turn up the heat in book 2? I'm like,
That was
whoa.
Alta. She brought the heat in this book.
They just couldn't stop,
They couldn't.
They were
They couldn't
very
help themselves.
They were very amorous.
They were very amorous.
So
They had a lot of expression to do that way.
Hey, he's been in jail for a really long time.
True. He's got a lot
But
of many years to make up for.
The last time though, Renee said, she goes, I would send everything over to Alta and then she would keep adding sex scenes. And we were like, we're not sorry. But you must have added a lot because wow, I was like, they just really literally cannot keep their hands off each other. And I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
I really thought like at one point I was blushing because I'm like, wow, again? Already?
But when you're in a new relationship, right, you usually can't keep your hands off of each other and you just go from one.
I'm not
Have to
sure
attest
that
to that.
gunshots.
Renee knows all about that right now.
I'm in a new relationship and that is pretty much all we do. Yeah.
You go, girl. You get it.
Nice.
I know, right? I just feel like I deserve it. I haven't been in prison, but it's kind of like that. So
I get that. I get that.
See, it's realistic, and that's the time when you just, if you have any options, you'd rather. And they were kind of trying to lay low. They were in a dangerous situation, and it's not like they could go out and do regular dates. And so, they
did a lot of exploring.
Mhm.
they did a staycation, a bedcation.
Yeah, I don't think they left the bedroom.
So I am going to ask, does Marco, are we going to see, or are you done with them?
No, Marco and Leo were planning on having some books for, yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we can't, poor Marco took a bullet in the ass. We have to give him a little something.
Exactly.
I am down for it because I adored those cousins. They were a riot. So funny. Love them.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. And Marco's a little more, he's got the protective possessiveness in him. He kind of is a caretaker. So he's definitely going to be an interesting character to give lots of, he has a little more of that nurturing, take charge attitude, which can be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well it makes me happy that we are not going to leave this world just yet. I'm a little excited about this.
No, in fact, Renee and I are writing a story in an anthology coming out in October called Bite of Pain?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we will be continuing the world in that. And that will be like a little peek of what's to come for us.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Fun. Okay, this is all really great stuff. Super excited.
That comes out, Bite of Pain comes out October 16th, 23.
Yes.
And there is
Awesome.
a really amazing mafia lineup in that.
Yeah.
Did you pre-order it, Heather?
Obvious. I think Renee sent it out. One of you sent it out in your newsletter. And I was like, oh, immediately, I need that.
Yeah, it's
Yay.
a really great lineup. It's pretty exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So best part of writing Mafia for either of you? Like, why do you love writing Mafia? Because you both do kind of write, you know, the villain, the anti-hero.
Totally. I mean, I love that they don't live under the rules of normal society.
Yeah.
So they can just be over the top possessive. They can threaten to kill anybody who looks at their woman. They can, you know, like all of the things that are like wouldn't be okay in a normal contemporary are okay in the Mafia setting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree completely. I love that we can completely let loose, and it's fun. We don't have society rules in the back of our mind, which is sometimes hard when you do write darker romances, that you still have what will people think? Will he be too bad, or too rough, or too not PC? Mafia, there's no rules. It gives us a lot of freedom.
Well, and I worried a little bit about Hannah because I know she drove Heather a little crazy, but she was an empath. Like she just felt so much. And I was worried that Mondo was going to just kind of like steamroll over her. But in the end, he does end up kind of showing his kinder, softer side. And I say that about, you know, a guy that shoots people. But I thought like he ended up being like a really good guy, at least for her. But I did worry about her a little bit because I'm like, oh, sister, your heart's too soft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like he needed that. Like she was his foil, you know, so that eventually some of that could bleed in for him, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Demi is asking if Marco's book will be another duet or if it'll be a single book. They don't know, Demi.
Good question.
Let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know.
Sure yet.
Let it go,
Excellent
Demi.
question.
I loved how everything kind of went full circle and pulled together. It was sort of wasn't sure how it was all, but it was like in a nice, like through like all at one time. Is that hard to do?
You cut out for a second, or at least for me, so I missed
She
a
did.
little bit of that.
Heather was asking if like bringing it full circle, I think, Heather, and having everything come together, was that hard to do, to kind of, you know, because honestly, I commend you both because I think it's got to be hard when you go from solo writing to duet writing. And there were no plot holes. Like, I don't feel like there was a stone unturned. There wasn't something in the book that was glaringly like, why did we never address this? Like, everything was tied up in this nice, clean bow. So is that hard to do?
Honestly, I'm relieved to hear you say that because even like at midnight last night, I was correcting where like, you know, she's like, I don't have your phone number, and you know, they'd already been texting, and I was like, oh shit, you know.
Yeah.
I thought I found all those, but I missed one, and so yeah, I'm glad to hear that you found them. You thought it was cohesive.
Yeah, that same. I mean, we're really lucky. We have we have beta readers, and we have proofers, and then we have a really good early advanced reader team that kind of helps us. That's along for the ride. So we really couldn't do it without them. I think that having extra sets of eyes, because as hard as Renee and I do, we have a great editor as well. So that's kind of how we do it. We can't take all the credit.
Right, for sure.
Well, you guys did a great job because honestly, I had an ARC version, and you know, there were some lines, but there wasn't anything that I was like, they mentioned this person, but we never hear about them again. Like, why are we, you know, like there wasn't anything like that. So,
Awesome.
Even the random.
Oh, Heather, poor Heather. She's having storms in Minnesota.
Oh dear.
I think this happened when we were on with Renee the last time.
It did. It totally did.
No rain for 2.5 weeks, and then tonight of all nights.
It's great. I do feel like, so with this duet, it reads really great. I'm excited for anybody who hasn't started it yet that they don't have to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Skip right to book 2.
But it's like, it's really bingeable because it's just such a solid story and it keeps moving. So when you're doing pacing, did you guys plot out certain things to help keep that pace moving forward? Or you're like, let's just see where we go?
We had a pretty solid plot, but then also was like filling in around the plot. Lots of hot sex scenes. And then in some cases we did have to do like a little surgery to make sure that it flowed right, of course.
Yeah.
Which totally happens.
We definitely, and because we're making a larger world, and because we know that Marco and because we know that we're going to continue, we had to like build on the world and give a little bit more. But yeah, it flowed really, really well. I mean, I think part of it is Renee and I have known each other for, wow, a long time. Like over a decade.
Like 11 years, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, 11 years. So we kind of know each other, and we know each other's writing and kind of our systems and our stories, and it really flowed. It was almost too easy.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Thanks. Is this duet going to go to audio?
Yes.
Yes.
We've already booked some narrators, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, Jenna, we will be seeing this duet in audio, which we have, it makes sense. We're a podcast. We do have a large community of audiobook listeners. So we often get asked about audio. Can you spill the beans of who's narrating yet? Not yet.
Yeah, it's Wen Ross and Kai Kennicott. They're fabulous, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think they're starting in September, so probably be out by October.
Exciting.
And they're going to do both books. Like both books are booked already. So.
Yeah. Oh, that's exciting. Jenna's like,
I love those narrators.
Those are great narrators.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Guess we're gonna have to do a reread here, Heather.
Darn.
Yeah.
That'll okay, so seriously, I have on my notes, Holy Danger Batman. Like, you did not shy away from the outside danger in this book at all.
True. Yeah, we had like dashes through alleyways and shooting up in the alleyway, and the grand, of course, no, don't want to give away the end, but yes.
Yeah. It reads like an action movie, to be honest. Like, it kind of has, now listen guys, the dog doesn't die, but it has that John Wick fast pace, violence for love kind, which all of that sounds.
Did you guys ever watch, this is like so old, with that movie True Romance with Patricia Arquette?
Yes.
Yes.
I loved that movie. So I think because of the romance part, but it's like so hardcore, but it was, I love that movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's just like, it's like danger and love and fast pace.
Danger and love.
It just moved. Plus Heather and I are kind of freaks. Kidnapping is our love language. So really.
Exactly.
And the van, the flower van, come on. Yes, that's perfect. Love it.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, I think both Renee and I, our love language is kidnapping as well.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We are all for it. I think I sent Renee stickers that were like,
I love them.
Tie me up and tell me you love me.
Tie me up and call me pretty.
Yeah, tie me up and call me pretty. Yeah. My poor husband, we're like, hey dude, you got to make these stickers for us. And he's like, if anybody ever sees these, they're going to think something's wrong with you. I'm like, dude, it's okay. They're all my friends. It's fine.
Yep.
They already know something's wrong with me.
They already know. We did an episode just released a couple weeks ago that I called Paneled Van and Handcuffs, and it was all about forced proximity and like being kidnapped or being held hostage. And my husband jokingly said to me, he goes, "Do you want me to rent like a paneled van, kidnap you for our anniversary?"
That's so sweet.
I'm like,
speaking your love language.
I'm like, you just know me so well. I'm like,
what a good guy.
Can you imagine the cops called? Oh no, it's her anniversary gift.
Our anniversary present.
I got randomly picked up off the street and kidnapped. It's great. It's great.
Oh
It's
my
just what I
God.
asked
Cute.
for.
So Renee Alta told us what's next for her. What is coming up next for you?
So I am working on the follow-up to Step Alpha, which is going to be, I think, Alpha King.
Okay.
So that's in my Wolfridge High series, and that should hopefully come out at the end of August. But it's been slow going, mostly because of new romance in my, like real romance in my life.
Well,
It
and
makes writing the fantasy not quite as easy.
if you are a Patreon subscriber to our swag packs, Renee sent me some amazing swag that's going to go in our August swag pack. That is
Yay.
like these wolf stickers.
Ooh.
I was like, what are you sending me? Hold on, I gotta find them. Look at these. They're sparkly Howl at the Moon.
Ooh, those are
Oh, nice.
Aren't those nice? You guys, this is like your swag came and I was like, look at this. And I didn't open any of it and take any yet.
You can.
I can. Oh, I can. I will. They will be decorating. But let's see here. Amanda says, I've been binging the Bad Boy Alphas.
Oh,
So,
good. Awesome.
you know, everybody talks a lot about you co-wrote another series that's Shifters, right?
Bad Boy Alphas. I have that
Oh, is
one
that
and
one?
Wolf Ranch.
Oh, Wolf
Yep.
Ranch.
Wolf Ranch, yep.
They've been talking about that a lot in our Discord. It comes up
Oh, good.
almost weekly. I think somebody's like, I'm checking this series out. And somebody will be like, oh my God, yes, read it. It's amazing. So
Oh, good. I love that.
do you think it's,
Yeah.
so writing Shifters and then going to Mafia, I think I asked you this last time, but I can't remember. Is it different or is it almost kind of the same a little bit?
It's the same because it's that same thing where they don't have to function in the human world, right? They can be like over the top alpha because it's their biology. Darn, they can't help it. It's just like Mafia, like, oh, they can't help it. They live in a different world. So they can be like possessive and jealous and really aggressive and yeah, very similar.
Amanda, all of us are like, we like the no rules part. So I think we're
Exactly.
all the dark mafia, like dark romance readers here.
yeah.
Yes,
All
Yes,
right.
it takes us. We're a special breed.
We are.
we are, aren't we?
So to
And your
either,
neighbors, and not everyone can do it. Maybe not your neighbors. You kind of
Yeah,
gotta feel it out.
Renee, you missed that. My neighbors are asking for books, and I'm not sure if I really want to give them. I'm not sure if they're ready. It's like
Right.
diving into the pool.
Agreed. That's always awkward.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
I mean, I will say I share a Kindle account. My mother is on, like, she's in our family plan, and so she sees all the stuff I download. And the other day, I downloaded a book called Camp Kink, and she's like, should I read this? And I'm like, sister, your husband's been dead for 13 years. No, you should not. She's like, okay,
Okay, no Camp King for me.
please start a little, like, lower.
Yeah, right.
It's not,
A little more, what is that? Entry level,
yeah,
whatever.
let's
Yeah.
not just dive right in, sister. Yeah. God, could you imagine, Heather? My mother, she's crazy. So do either one of you have a book or a series that you both have that you've written either separately or together or whatever that you wish more people would put eyes on? Is there one of your titles that you're like, I don't know why more people don't read this book, but I have such a heart and a fondness for this book. I wish more people would read it.
Stump the authors.
I know. Look
Yeah.
at
It's a
me.
great question. I mean, I actually think like this series, like it didn't, and I didn't know if people were waiting for book 2 to come out, but I really like, I was sort of expecting more of a response than we got from book 1. So
Okay.
I'm hoping that
Yeah.
people will go crazy now.
Yeah, I agree. I'll say that one. I say the same answer. We got the feeling that a lot of people were waiting for book 2 before they started book 1.
I think that as a reader, there is a little bit of fatigue that I think maybe more in dark romances, I've noticed it more. The trilogy, the duets, there's a little bit of fatigue. Although this duet reads so fast. It
Yeah.
was like, I didn't wasn't halfway through going like, why am I still here? Why haven't we, like, I needed all of these interactions. I needed these chases. I needed this sexy scene over here. Like, I needed it. Um, but I do think that a lot of people are bingers. They just want to be read from cover to cover and be done.
Right. I mean, I
Yeah.
can understand because I'm the same way. I like to binge. And so I would do the same thing if I was waiting.
I
I'd
don't
wait on
mind.
you.
Yeah.
People think I'm crazy. I don't mind a cliffhanger and I don't mind waiting. But I'm also like one of those crazy people that used to read Trad Pub and have to wait like 18 months for the next book in the
Right?
series.
Yeah.
So like
Totally.
the fact that you only had to wait like 6 weeks.
Yeah, we don't torture you for
Exactly.
too long.
Right.
No.
That's what Susie
Yeah,
said. She was waiting. She needed the entire story. Cliffhangers upset me sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get it. I do get it.
Yeah.
And I think
my
that was
proofreader
part of
was
it.
that way. She was very angry with me. She was like, when is it? And I was like, hold on, when I'm not done yet. She's like, send it now.
But that was part of the intrigue because it was like, what are you guys gonna do? Are we gonna how dark are we gonna go? Because we could have gone real dark after book one. Real dark.
Yeah.
Could have. And you're saying you don't think it went real dark after book
But
one?
like I think I don't want to give it away, but we could have like, yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah. How cruel were we going to be? Right. We could have been
That's it.
really, really
Mhm.
mean, or we could be a little mean, or
It's okay.
Yeah.
You
How
made up for
mean.
any meanness with all the sexy times. So we're fine. We're fine.
Exactly. You know, kind of how it goes.
That book was spicy. I'm
Yes.
like,
It was spicy.
I mean,
and Renee, didn't the editor tell you like we needed to add another one?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So she was like, there's too many at the beginning because they were just having sex, a lot of sex in the beginning. And she's like, we need more at the end. So then I was like, okay, like more sex then. Here we go.
I will say there is a plot there, you guys, though. There is a storyline.
Mhm.
It is not PWP. It is absolutely a story, but it just has some really great spicy scenes that
They just couldn't keep their hands off of each other.
they just really couldn't.
Yeah.
Okay, so we know what's next, and we have this duet now, and everybody should just sign up for your newsletters so they know when we'll see Marco coming.
Yes.
And we don't know entirely what his plan is just yet. If he'll be 1, 2, who knows? Maybe 6.
Yeah.
Just for
Maybe
Demi,
6.
they'll write it in a 6-part thriller.
But there was a sex club introduced in this book that may make a reappearance in Bite of Pain.
Yeah.
Oh.
In what?
And Bite of Pain in the anthology.
In the anthology.
Yeah.
The sex club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, that'll be nice. That'll be
We love
nice.
a good sex club.
Okay, so
Right.
I know Renee is like sitting in the middle of an airport terminal, like on a bench.
I know. I love the little sign behind your head.
No, what does it say?
Oh,
It's a non-smoking area.
don't light up. I just thought I would ask you some would you rather questions to get to know you guys just a little bit better.
Fun. Okay.
Would you rather be forced to eat only spicy food or only incredibly bland food?
Ooh, I'm gonna go with spicy.
Yeah. Spicy for me too.
Yeah, I'll survive it. I'll survive it.
Yep.
Would you rather live under a sky with no stars at night or live under a sky with no clouds during the day? I mean, pretty much Renee lives in a place where there's no clouds.
I'm gonna say that is where I live. Yep. So yes, I'm choosing that.
And I'm the opposite because I just moved
Right.
to rainy Oregon, so I like the clouds.
Would you rather it never stop snowing or never stop raining? And there's never floods and, you can still
Snowing.
move.
I definitely like snow.
You like
Okay,
snow?
so
No, it may seem funny because I live in the desert, but I do like snow.
And see, I just moved to the rain because I came from the mountains and we had 24 feet of snow. So I've had a little bit of snow. I think I need a break.
Yep, that's
That's fair.
fair.
It's summer here and I've already got my reader's tan from sitting in the pool all day with the
Nice.
with my head down
Nice.
reading my book. So I
Love
want
it.
the sunshine. I don't want snow. I do not want rain. I just really want the sunshine.
Nice.
Would you rather have everything you eat be too salty or not salty enough? And you can't add salt.
Ooh, I
So you either have to have
think
salty or no
not
salty.
salty enough. Not salty enough.
Same.
See, I like my salt. Give me the salt. So I'm old. I'm older. Do you remember when there were like the Wow potato chips of Lay's and they were not salty and they were super bland? And I remember my dad went to like a low salt, no salt diet, and we used to get saltine crackers with no salt on them. Like, look, Heather, I'm telling you.
That's cardboard, isn't it?
Yeah. Gross.
It was
No,
so
thanks.
wrong. Anyway. Would you rather travel the world for a year on a shoestring budget or stay in only one country for a year but live in luxury?
Good question.
That's a tough one.
I'm gonna go with the luxury.
I'm going with luxury too.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with luxury as well.
A villa on the Riviera or something.
Yeah, I could stay there for a year.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's probably better than staying in a rundown like Roach Motel.
Exactly.
Yeah, probably.
Would you rather be a centaur or a mermaid?
Mermaid.
Ooh, mermaid.
Mermaid.
Mhm.
Heather,
Mhm.
do you want to be a mermaid?
Yeah.
I figured you wanted to be a mermaid.
Yeah.
Would you rather only wear one color each day or have to wear 7 colors each day?
Ooh, 7 colors.
Are you a color person?
I guess.
I think I'm a
Sounds fun.
one-colored person. I'm not very bold.
I can pretty much
Yeah, I've
just
got
wear.
my bright.
Yeah, I could wear gray. So, I mean, I'm fine.
No, I wear a lot of black.
It could be rainbow.
Would you
Could
rather
definitely be rainbow.
be an unimportant character in the last movie you saw or an unimportant character in the last book you read?
Neither. They killed them off.
Right?
I guess the last book I read.
Yeah. I would
Yeah.
think I'd want to live in a book. I don't know. Although we
Yeah.
did recently we did an episode, it comes out in July, all about movies and romance books and stuff. And like, not necessarily books that become movies, but what movies have romance book vibes. And I watched some really good movies. There's a really cute movie on Netflix right now with Josh Duhamel, and he's like a grumpy farmer.
Oh.
I wouldn't mind living there with him. I mean,
Nice.
Yeah.
solid
Silver
grumpy
fox.
farmer. I'm okay.
Yeah, I like it.
Would you rather be compelled to high five everyone you meet or be compelled to give wedgies to anyone in a green shirt?
High five. Yeah, I'm not a wedgie girl. Yeah.
I
I'm the sub. I'm not the dom. Okay.
yeah, I
Look
agree.
at Renee.
I
She's
don't see
like
myself
looking
being
how
able to
many
give
people have
anyone
a green
wedgie.
shirt walking past me right
Imagine all the people walking by Renee right now heading to.
I was just gonna say, I was like,
Bonanza
can I go
on
get
her.
someone? What, guys?
Oh my goodness. Would you rather walk in on your best friend naked or have your best friend walk in on you naked?
Oh, either. I don't really care.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
fine.
I'm the same. Neither.
Be naked once in public or be a never nude.
What's a never nude?
Like you
Like
Never?
never.
never nude.
Never ever.
Never, ever.
Oh, I would be naked in public for sure.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Definitely.
I would be naked
Especially
in
right
public.
now for you, Renee.
Would you rather be caught in the act of having sex by a cop or you're intended's parents. I say intended because Renee is in a relationship, but so it says in-laws. You know, the rest of us are married.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, I'd say cop.
A cop.
Pop. Pop.
For sure, cop.
Would you rather accidentally send a dirty text to your boss or a sexy voicemail to your mom?
Boss. Ooh,
Yeah.
I don't know. Boss, I think. My
I
mom was
haven't
so
had a boss
prude.
in a long
Oh my
time.
God. I know, me neither. That's why I'm like, oh, it's an imaginary thing.
Well, you are your own boss, so
Yeah.
you know,
So I'd be sending a sexy message to myself.
and it wouldn't matter,
Yeah.
right?
Well, and
Down with that.
I work, you know, in publishing. I work copy editor and proofreader, all that kind of good stuff. But I like to go on our family Amazon and look like bad stuff up or overly sexy, kinky, like book covers and stuff like that. Because my husband will use our family Amazon account at work to like
Oh my
look
God,
for work
so
stuff.
funny.
And just random stuff will come up. So
Like kink camp.
yeah, like kink camp or sometimes.
Love it. Love it.
Sometimes random condoms. I don't know. Heather and I went down a super kinky rabbit hole of books with all sorts
Nice.
of kinks we didn't even know we had.
Renee wants the list.
Right? Give me the whole list.
So I like to like have those up there. I'd be like, seriously, could you stop? Like, no, I can't. Would you rather have your man dress as a manly lumberjack or a sharp dressed man?
Ooh, sharp dressed man.
I might go with the
Or-
lumberjack.
I mean, I
kinda
like
the
both. I
rugged.
like both for sure, but my man looks good in the suit. Really
Okay.
good.
Yeah, and my man looks good in a flannel and kind of the rugged look.
Nice.
I'm really not picky. Just like, you know.
Yeah,
Just
either one.
whatever.
Totally good with me.
I mean, we've been together almost 25 years, so really at this point, dude, whatever. Just whatever.
Yeah, totally.
Make whoopee in your parents' bed or at a mattress store.
Whoopee.
Mattress store.
What it
Totally down with that.
I mean, I'm kind of shopping for beds right now, so
Let's. Think
That-
you better go try them out.
Okay, last one, because this one is get a massage with peanut butter or maple syrup.
Ooh.
Both would be very messy.
Peanut butter, because it would clean up maybe a little better.
Maybe.
I was gonna say, yeah, maple syrup. I don't think that the stick would ever
Sticky.
go away.
So sticky, yeah. Too sticky.
Yeah. Yeah, if you have sensory issues, neither one of those are for you.
Good point.
I will tell you, like, so when I read a romance book and like they have sex on the kitchen counter, all I think of is there's never a thing like the next day where somebody's wiping it down
With
with
a
a
bleach.
Clorox, right? I'm like, you're
You're
just
right,
gonna
we
sit
should
and eat
bleach
your
those.
eggs? Like,
Not okay.
that's my only thing. Like every once in a while I'll read one of those scenes and I'll be like 4 hours ago, your naked ass was on that counter and now you're just eating eggs. Like, it's okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
You can't eat at everybody's house. That's the deal.
Can't eat it. This is true. This is true. Oh, Heather already asked. I was like, does anyone else have any questions? If you're still here, give us a hey in the comments. Renee, you are at Book Bonanza now.
Yes.
And
If anyone else is at Book Bonanza, I am here with A.L. Jackson. I'm at her table. So
oh, fun.
find me there. Yeah.
She is the nicest. She was our author for book club, not in June, but in May. And she's just so sweet. I adore
She's the
her.
best. Absolutely. Yes.
What signings do you have next after this? Either one of you? Or Alta, are you going anywhere?
Yeah.
I've got London Rare and then Florence Rare are my two.
Okay.
And then Denver, Readers Take Denver again.
Yep.
What about
Yeah, and I have in October, I'll be going to Authors After Midnight, which is in North Carolina. So just one this year because I've been, moving.
fun?
Nice.
Yeah, 2024, I hope to do some more.
Cool.
Fun.
Fun.
Okay, we got Susie, Gloria's here, Amanda. My mother does not count. My mother's in the comments. Fairly certain she's
She
had a lot of
counts.
wine.
Tell her to go to kink camp. Just kidding.
My mother. Anyway, she lives with me part of the time. She's great. I'm very lucky to have her. Okay. Pick a number between 1 and 3. I know there's more people here, but I just
3.
3. Okay, Miss Gloria. I will send you some fun stuff. I have some swag and other fun, cool things I will send your way. Hold on one second. Did anyone have any questions? My mother, not fair. Lynn, you do not need anything. Oh my gosh.
And I promise, as soon as I unpack some stuff and everything, I'll send some swag your way.
Perfect. Awesome.
Okay, so Alta, remind us again what book you have coming next.
So my next book is July 5th, and it is Vipers Are Forbidden, which is the 3rd and final book in my Gods Among Men series.
Okay. And Renee, you just had Step Alpha
So
come
it's
out?
Alpha King. Yeah, Step Alpha just came out, and then Alpha King will be coming out at the end of August.
Okay.
I hope.
Awesome. You can do it between traveling to London
do
and
it.
Florence. You can totally do
I
it.
know.
Anyway, thank you both of you for joining us
Thanks for having
here
us.
at Happy
you.
Hour.
Yes.
It was our pleasure to have you back, and we enjoyed chatting with you.
Yeah.
Thank
And have
you
fun
so
at book
much.
bonanza, Renee.
Yeah,
Thanks, I will.
have the most
Have
fun.
lots of fun.
Until
Right.
until next time, everyone. Happy reading.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.